What comes to mind when you think of Italy? Gorgeous women, supercars, Lamborghinis perhaps? Where it looks like I've died and gone to heaven because I have them all. I have Lamborghinis, I have super hot women. Welcome to this special episode of Overdrive, coming at you from the Bologna Motor Show. Over the next half hour, we'll have some supercars, some super hot women, and maybe some more cars. The Bologna Motor Show is Lamborghini's home show. Their Sant'Agata facility is only a 40-minute drive away. And with the important business of world premieres being done with, Bologna was all about chilling and celebrating. This catwalk to showcase the clothing was one example, and joining the gorgeous models on stage were this year's highlights. The groundbreaking 4-door, 4-seater Estoque concept that we first saw in Paris, and the new Gallardo Spyder, the chopped-top version of the LP564. After unveiling a white Spyder at LA, the Bull returned to a more familiar black at Bologna, and this is the car Lambo believes will be its bestseller for 2009. We are in the Gallardo Spyder with Stephan Winkelmann, boss of Lamborghini. Mr. Winkelmann, tell us something more about the Gallardo Spyder.
It's a new Gallardo Spyder with a complete new engine with 560 horsepower. It's a V10 5.2 liter engine that we call a iniezione diretta stratificata. The acceleration from 0 to 100 is in less than 4 seconds. Top speed at 324 kilometers per hour. We reduce the weight by 20 kilos and we reduce the emission of CO2, so the emission and the consumption by 18%. This car will come into the markets by April next year.
You showcased the Estoque at the Paris Motor Show. Now that's a 4-door, a break from Lamborghini tradition. What's the thinking behind that?
The Lamborghini Estoque is and still is, or was and still is, a concept car. We are working on the two-model strategy, Murcielago and Gallardo, with more and more derivatives coming up. We are making our, let's say, homework with the Estoque. We will see in future if there is a possibility to bring this car into production. At time being, it's not planned.
You already have a 4-door concept, the Estoque. What's next for Lamborghini? An SUV?
No. The SUV has never been an option in the last decades for Lamborghini, and it will not be an option in future. What we are doing is to focus on the two-model strategy, Gallardo and Murcielago, and to create as many derivatives as possible to increase the value of the brand.
Now, global auto manufacturers are going through a recession, a slump. As Lamborghini, a high-end automotive manufacturer, does that affect you?
We are not immune to a global recession or a worldwide economical crisis. But our strategy remains. We want to become the most profitable and we want to be the most desirable super sports car manufacturer. And therefore, we are increasing our efforts in the next year, which will be a very tough year also for us, in terms of additional products and more openings, so more dealerships around the world.
You're talking about increasing your dealerships. Does that mean that you'll have more dealerships in India?
We are planning to open up a dealership in Mumbai. We are looking for a partner. We will have to wait for the right moment to open it up, but actually we have more than one candidate. At time being, with the economical situation, there will be a slowdown in, let's say, in the approach to India, but on a midterm, I think that India is going to become very important.
Italy being the land of supercars, you wouldn't expect the Italian police to drive donkey cars. Well, they drive some serious machines. And I'm not talking about the Subaru, I'm talking about the Lamborghini Gallardo. This Polizia Special Gallardo is equipped with a high-end video surveillance system and gun holster. As well as acting as a patrol car, the Polizia Gallardo can also be used for medical transportation. So the front boot features a special refrigeration system for transporting vital organs. For emergencies, there's also a defibrillator best used to resuscitate speeding Ferrari drivers who suffer a stroke seeing a Gallardo in their mirrors with the flashing blues. So while Lamborghini might not have saved any big launches for the show, group company Volkswagen certainly did. Making its world premiere was the new Golf Plus alongside a rather special version of the company's uber cool hot hatch, the Scirocco. This being an Italian motor show, there has to be at least one car with the colors of the Italian flag draped all over it. And the Scirocco gets it. Green, white and red. Get it? Now we've driven the Scirocco earlier on the show and it's a damn good steer. Now it looks even better with its front splitter, pearl white paint job and that magnificent rear spoiler. Called the Scirocco Studie R, this stunning white concept is related to the Scirocco GT24 race car that won its class at the Nürburgring 24 Hours. When production begins in 2010, this car will have a 266 bhp 2-litre turbocharged engine with twin exhaust pipes and triple-spoke 19-inch alloys. Only recently was the 6th generation Golf unveiled, and it's only a matter of time before the new front-end styling migrates to the rest of the Golf range. In Italy, it was the Golf Plus's turn to get the new nose and the 2-bar grille in high gloss black. The Golf is the most important car in the Volkswagen range, and it's not just the car. Most of the cars in the Volkswagen group have the same Golf platform. For instance, the last Golf platform underpinned everything from the Skoda Octavia to the Jetta, the Passat and the Golf obviously. And now the new Golf platform gets this variant, the Golf Plus. Basically, it's a Golf on stilts, and that gives it more headroom, more legroom. It's a more comfortable car for the family man. Another manufacturer unveiling a hot hatch was Mazda, who showcased the new 5-door Mazda 3. Confused by the numbers? I certainly wasn't. In fact, I didn't even bother looking at the car. This is the new 5-door Mazda 3 that had just been unveiled over here. Now I'll be honest, this is not going to come to India. Nothing remotely like this is going to come to India. I don't even know what engine it has. But when you have eye candy like this around the car, you just got to have this on the show. Moving on then to another Japanese manufacturer, and a quick look at Nissan's stall was all it needed to get me serious again. This is the Nissan GTR, arguably the greatest sports car in the world at the moment, developed over hours and hours and hours of testing at the Nürburgring. But this is something that you must see. This is the GTR in a stripped out, it's a cutaway section of the engine. Now this engine, nobody knows how much power it makes because each engine is handmade in a pressure sealed chamber. Drive is transmitted to the rear transaxle and then power is transmitted to all 4 wheels. It's a masterpiece of packaging, gives it ideal perfect weight balance. And that's your GTR FAQ in 30 seconds because really understanding this car will take years. It may have lost its production car lap record at the Nürburgring to the Corvette ZR1. But Godzilla is quite literally in a class of its own. Time for a quick break here on the Overdrive Bologna Motor Show special. But coming up next, we go from mean to green.